Hello, and good evening to everyone. Okay, this is our fourth meeting, and this meeting we will talk a review about the Hunger Games. So before we have discussed about the Slumdog Millionaire movie, and so for this meeting, we proceed to the next movie, which is the Hunger Games. So, uh, did you guys enjoy the movie? Oh yes, see. Okay, what do you think about the storyline, Shakira?
The storyline is about Katniss Everdeen because about how to save her district 12 is her village. Instead volunteer herself to save her sister named Primrose to play the game. She need to sacrifice herself because she loved her sister very much. How about you? Aini, can you continue the storyline?
Okay, for the storyline, Katniss is a volunteer to replace her sister to become a representative for District 12 with a Peter Millar. Okay, with a Peter Millar, both of them involved into the Hunger Games. Then they go to the Hunger Games to represent District 12. District 12. I'm sorry. Okay. So how about you, Nawa?
Okay, at the start of the game, Katniss ignored Hitler's advice and grabbed supplies from the ground around the cornupia, the structure where the contestants start and narrowly avoid being killed. Nearly half the tributes are killed in the initially melee. Katniss tried to stay as far away from the other competitor as possible, but hit game maker Siniska Crane triggers a forest fire to drive her back toward the others. She ran into the carrier with whom Peter has allies and flee out the tree. How about you, Faris?
Okay, and then I would like to continue about the part when Peter and Katniss are alone in the cave, and then there's maybe some romantic part there, but still that when Peter fell sick, and then Katniss risked her life to go to a feast that she think that I think that Peter would disagree with her action because she could get killed by the other competitor from the other tributes, right? And then, how about you?
Hi, my name is Juan. So I would like to tell about the storyline. So I will tell from the first. So it's the beginning of the movie. Basically, Katniss with her boyfriend and playing together, and at one point, the capital came to their village and want to pick two person from their district, which is district 12. Then they choose his sister, Katniss' sister, but Katniss volunteer herself to go to the capital. So I like the meaning of the story because it shows that she don't want her sister to go to the capital because she knows that his sister is cannot survive at the Hunger Game. And then I like the part when Katniss, Peter, and practice for the Hunger Game, and during the Hunger Game I very like because I think it's very awesome, and I think the fight looks real with the equipment that they gave, and the last part of the movie I also like the plot twist, which supposedly only one person to survive, but Katniss and Peter managed to what you call die together by eating the berries. So what do you think, Janet?
I think the story is very nice. I like how
Jennifer Lawrence play her part. Right. This was actually one of the best movie I've ever seen. It was really nice. Was.
Thank you, Janet. I want to add some storyline about the Hunger Game that one talk about. Want to add something about how Katniss Everdeen saved Peter Mellark from that incident. Katniss Everdeen, the Capitol told them that two contestants from same district can move to another. I mean, can win the feast, and then they were helping each other to win the competitions. After that, the announcement was made, and then the capital told them that only one person can win. So that then Katniss Everdeen show that she really want to help Peter Mellark, so that they both decide to eat poison berries so that no one can win the competitions. But eventually the capital realized that, and then stop them from doing that. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, that's a fine line about the storyline about the Hunger Games movie. So we move on to the what is the message that you all get from the movie of the Hunger Games. So for me, the movie of the Hunger Games have taught me so much about courage, loyalty, and also about obedience. They also showed the courage about Katniss Everdeen, who volunteered herself uh, to join the deadly games just to save her sister Primrose, because her name sister was selected to join the game. So what do you think, Shakira? Any messages from the movie?
I think it is about the determination to stay alive. It is not easy to leave our beloved family just to play that game, and just to make sure their home or their village safe from the capital, and kill each other to have the place make the story become more surprise. How about you, Aini, about the message?
As we all know, the Hunger Games is about adventure movie. Okay, this about Katniss, 16 years old, that she's so brave to sacrifice herself to replace her sister place to become a representative for the District 12 in the Hunger Game. Okay, for me personally, I think that the movie, Katniss is so brave. She has a determination. She also a young girl that are very responsibility, that she become a hunter to find a food for their family. She is so good girl that I think I like her. How about you, Nawa?
Right. For the message, firstly, I think stay true to stay true to you are until the end. For example, Peter explained to Katniss the night before the Hunger Games. If I die, I still want to be me. Alright. Just because of the government is taking control of the everything and everyone, he is not standing for it. Despite being forced into the arena, he wants his character to remain instead. Okay, if you sacrifice your individually, you will risk losing your identity. At the end of the day, it is most important to stay true to your values and belief. Don't conform to someone else's idea if it is not something you believe in. People will respect you a hell of a lot of more if you are confident in your motivates and belief. How about you, Faris?
Okay then, about the message that I've been trying to portray by the director, by the writer of this movie and this story, I think maybe there's two messages here that I found deeply inside me. Right. Okay, the first one is about when the Katniss volunteered herself to replace her sister because basically there's no one want to be a tribute, no one want to being a representative of of their own district because this game, this Hunger Games are actually a killing game. You know, when you participate in it and you're going to be killed, or whether you're being killed or you'll be a winner, right? So that when Katniss Everdeen, when she saw when she see her own sister being selected, and she cares for her sister, and then in her mind she thinks that she didn't want her sister to die, so it's better for her to die instead. So that shows message. The message is that the family bond. We could see that in Katniss herself. The second message is, you know, when the capital, the last when Muaz said about the capital eventually being changed the rules. This shows that the capital's trying to try to make use of Katniss and Peter more. So there's maybe an even further conflict, and that's why I recommend anyone to see the next movie, the continuous movie. What about you, Wan?
Okay, thank you for this. So the message that I can see and I can learn from the movie that which is I agree with Faris about the first scene, which is when the Katniss volunteered herself instead of her sister going to the capital. I think like Katniss said that she's willing to die than her sister. I think sometimes it is worth to sacrifice because I think if his sister is go to the capital and play the Hunger Game, I think her sister cannot manage to survive. I think so. At some point, I think something worth to sacrifice. That the first lesson that I learned. And the second message that I can learn that the scene that when Katniss practice, she really want to win the game. She practiced really hard during the middle of the movie during the I think during the her training. I think because the determination of the Katniss, I very admire Katniss, her determination to win the game. And yeah, so what do you think?
I think actually the message is very cool and violent. In this movie, we can see that actually it teaches us that in life we either win or we sink. The worst is we die, and that is the end. This is what I can see from the movie. In life, we have so many obstacles, just like Katniss and Peter and all the other tributes that have to fight among themselves. So do us in our life. We have to learn how to survive in a new environment, in some place we don't even know. And the killing part is actually not necessary in our life, but in some circumstances we will face that.
Yes,
We either die
our heart will die.
we either die emotionally or you know. Yes. And then the last part where the capital try to change everything, actually it portrays to me that the authority has the power to change anything they want to their convenience.
Yes.
It seems to me that if the way is illegal, they will legalize the way,
Yes.
from what I see. What about you, Wan? Muaz?
Thank you, Janet. The message that I found from this movie. The first one is friendship. You can see Katniss Everdeen uh, during her participation in the feast. You can see that there's a little girl from other district called Luna. She helped Katniss Everdeen to fight other contestants so that Katniss Everdeen will survive. And then Katniss Everdeen and Rue show their friendship strong when they were planned to destroy food supply for other contestants so that other contestants will not survive. So we can see that Katniss Everdeen will do anything for Rue so that they will survive. So then out of the blue, the Rue would kill, and then Katniss Everdeen very sad, and then she bury her, and then remember and sing a song, and sing a whistle song to remember her. The second message that I found from this movie is family love. We can say that Katniss Everdeen volunteer herself to help her sister so that her sister does not join the feast so that her sister will survive. What about you, Janet, about this other message that the movie portrays?
Do that.
Oh, this is the like
Symbol.
symbol of rebellion, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
it shows unity in the
It's social unity among themselves after Rue's death. Nice.
Yeah, where you can see the whistle song that Katniss played it after his friends Rue die. So we move to the next question, which you can see the movie of the Hunger Games use a heavy visual effects on CGI's technique on the movie. So what do you think about the technique and CGI's that the producer of the movie used? So is it look realistic, or the visual effects are just too plain for you? So what do you think, Shakira?
I think the visual effect from this movie really make us angry with the situation. Since that everything is about dates. If you want to stay alive, you must kill each other so that you can stay alive. I think it is about violence, and the effect given is very awesome and surprising. And actually, the game have been controlled from someone that is very intelligent, and the effect given make us more surprised to see more and more. I think. How about you? I think about the visual effect.
Okay, for me, I personally agree with Shakira because the sound effect is very good, and as I watch the movie, I think that it's look very real. That I was enjoy the movie. That I really love the movie. How about you, Nawa?
Yes, for the visual effect, mostly I'm very interested. Where you see the people killing each other, you know, the blood. It really looks real. So
You love the action.
yes,
The part.
yes, of course. Okay, about the price.
Okay, first of all, about the Hunger Games, and then we know that there's a 4 part of this movie. There's 4 sequel. So for the first movie, the first movie 2012 technology, there's the CGI effects. Well, for me, it's not convincing yet. But if you watch already the Mockingjay part ones, I think that's the CGI effect are super. But still, Harry Potter is the best. Frozen also is the best.
Okay, so about the visual effect, I just want to talk to share one scene, which is when the Katniss came onto the stage with her dress fire. So I like that part because I think her dress look very real. So I think the visual effect they did a great job about that part, and everything about the movie, I really like. It doesn't look fake, and I like.
So, to be honest, I have read the books before I watched the movie. The
Oh.
movie is only a little bit of the book, and it totally ran out of the. It's not the same with the book, so I was quite disappointed. But
Same like Harry Potter.
yeah,
Same like Harry Potter.
same like Harry Potter. But Jennifer Lawrence played a very good part in making her role alive, and I like the CGI effects and everything because yeah, everything looks real, but yeah, it's beyond imagination. But I prefer my own imagination when I read the books.
Emma Watson played maybe Emma Watson will play a much more convincing than Jennifer
No.
Lawrence.
Emma Lawrence, no, we'll not talk about it now.
Imagine that the CGI effects from this movie is I think it's quite amazing because we can say that the venue for the Hunger Games is quite convincing for us to watch, and then there's several venue for the Hunger Games, and then the CGI effects were great. Thank you.
Alright, I think that's all for this meeting. So we'll meet on the next session. We will talk about review about all the 3 movies that we have discussed before. So see you next time, guys. Goodbye.
Proceed.